It is Wednesday once again. This is the Wednesday weekly learning session for local bartending school. My name is Carlos Navia. I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I've been a bartender for many, many years in several different states and 2 different countries. I'm coming to you from my little tiki bar in my backyard here in San Luis Obispo, California. So I do this. I do one-on-ones. I've been doing more and more in-persons now since COVID has kind of started to clear up and calm down just a little bit. It's getting some new students out here. And if you're in the course, you might recognize me from some of the videos in the online portion of the course. So does anybody have any questions about anything before I kind of jump into topics today and get some water?
I have a question about the course. I was wondering, what pace should I be doing it? Because in one part of the section, if I just bring it up on my other monitor really quick, like after I did the first step, it said take like 2 days to like absorb the information.
Really,
and then I was just like,
really at your own pace. It's really as fast as you want to go through it. And retain. Yeah, it doesn't, you don't have to wait 2 days. You can do multiple of them in one day. I think I went through them all in one day because I've gone through all the stuff, because I've done all the stuff. Just kind of on my own to go through it all and see what it is. I just sat down and did it all at once real quick for a couple hours. So really, it's kind of just at your own pace.
I definitely need the hands-on class because I got to this specialty drinks and there's no way I'm remembering that.
The best way, I don't know, I don't have them out here. I know where they are. They're in a file drawer. But the best way that I learned to do it was flashcards and just making flashcards. And you can go to Dollar Tree and get a pack of like 200 index cards for, $1.25 Tree now. Get a pack of index cards for, 200 of them for $1.25, and just write the drink name on one side, the recipe on the other side, and go through them. It's a really kind of old school way to do it, but it is very effective. It really does work. And it was kind of fun because at one point, me and my little brother used to have parties and he would just take out the flashcards and start looking for fun stuff to make. Oh, party cocktails, party favors. What about this one? What about this one? Because we just had them, easily laying around and easy to refer to. But that's what I suggest. I still got 200 cards, like I said, in a file drawer in my bedroom.
Okay. I guess besides that, I don't really have many questions. I'm kind of okay. I feel like I need to buy my own stuff because online learning is not my favorite. I definitely struggle a little bit more with that.
With the what?
Online learning. Like just not doing it myself. So
I gotcha. And that's why it's in 2 parts. So you have the online and then you have the in-person with someone so you can ask questions. But I'm always here every Wednesday. I will always answer any questions about anything to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Cool. And if you got any more questions at the end, I'll be happy to answer those for you as well. Where minutes. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. It's a big day. I live in California. The Super Bowl is here. Our home team is playing in Los Angeles. So it's going to be pretty crazy down there. We're just kind of telling them about hotel prices in the area there and how extreme they are for some not very good hotels in not greatest areas of Los Angeles. If you're having a party at home, designate rides. Make sure someone's got a designated driver, or they're taking an Uber, they're taking a Lyft, they're not driving home. Make sure you have plenty of food, plenty of water. Get a case of little bottles of water and make sure you're offering them to people. Make sure that people are drinking. It just helps slow down the process, helps water down the alcohol so you don't get as drunk. And like I said, I'll reiterate this for last week. Have 2 viewing areas if you're having a party at home. One viewing area with a very large TV for everybody that is serious about the game, and a separate viewing area for those that don't care about the game, just came to go to a party and want to drink and socialize and all. It works out well. It really does. It is the way to do it. If you're going into the bar, you're going into work, and I realized I used the term I'm not supposed to use anymore last week. I used the term sports bar to refer to bars. And we no longer use that term because it has negative connotations. It sounds like skeezy places where weird men hang out at. They are sports themed family restaurants. So I'm going to correct myself. That's our PC correct way to say it. The newest one from last year, you're not supposed to say tiki bars, which I just did just now too. They are nautical or tropical themed bars. Anyway, that's our PC way of saying it. So I'm going to correct myself. If you're going to work, expect to get busy, stock up, be ready to go. Even if it's not busy, 20 minutes before the game or right at kickoff time. A lot of people come in late. They have other stuff going on, not to mention it's a long game. It's not like a regular football game where it's going to be done in 3.5 hours. It's going to be a 5 to 6 hour venture. So, realize it's a long day, realize it's a long game. You're going to be there for the entirety of it. In most cases, sometimes Super Bowls are really one-sided, in which case a lot of people leave early. So, that can happen as well. Offer waters to people that are drinking. A lot of times they're not thinking about it. They're paying about, they're looking at the game. They're kind of seeing what the over-under is. They got a lot of money going on it. They're socializing. They're doing whatever. Hey, do you need a glass of water to go with that? Offer them water and sometimes be like, yeah, I could use some water too. I could throw some water in there. It's something that I've become accustomed to doing because in the area I live in, we have drought issues. And you're not supposed to automatically stick up a glass of water for someone. They're supposed to ask for it first. So go to a random rant here now. Straws. You can't give someone a straw in the county I live in because apparently, and paper straws suck. I don't have this argument. Apparently, from what I've told in my extended research, they get stuck in the nostrils of turtles and then the turtles die. And if that's the case, that just sounds like natural selection to me. I don't think that's the brightest and best of the turtle crop that is swimming up the straws and all of a sudden choking and dying on them. Anyway, side rant. But, offer them that water. I used to do it every time. If I've got people that are eating and they're having a cocktail, I just stick one up in front of them. Because generally people like a glass of water when they're eating, but offer waters to people. Make sure you're giving them that choice, putting that thought in their head, trying to keep people from getting too drunk and stay alert. Don't get too caught up in the game. You're not there to watch the game. You're there to work. You're not really going to see much of the game. So make sure you're paying more attention to the customer's needs and what is going on and not just, I got my back turned. I'm staring, watching the football game like I'm a customer. So make sure we're staying alert and we're seeing what's going on around. I have a picture open. Ideas, if you're having a party or you're doing some stuff in the bar, you can never go wrong with Jello shots. I think I've showed this before. This is my refrigerator in Florida. Can't go wrong with Jello shots. Everybody loves Jello shots. Just remember, it is really easy to have 4, 5, 6, 7 Jello shots and not realize how hard they're going to hit you in about 20 to 30 minutes. So do beware when you're working with those. The other thing I think it's really easy to do is some sort of rum punch is really easy. Combination of rums, light rum, dark rum, coconut rum. You can throw in some 151. You can throw in some, spiced rum. Malibu and Cruzan sell all kinds of other flavors as well. Pineapple, passion fruit, I think raspberry and stuff like that. Any combination of rum, orange juice, pineapple juice, cranberry juice is going to make a good rum punch. You're going to make something fun and fruity, especially, shouldn't say especially, but if you have people that don't drink a lot, want something fruitier and not so alcohol tasting and don't want to do shots of Fireball or just have beers or something like that, it's probably going to be a lot of what's going on this Sunday. Good rum punch works pretty easy to do that. I did some Super Bowl drinks last week, and I gotta try at least one more because I saw this and it seemed too fun not to try this because I thought it sounded cool when I saw it. So we'll see how this one works out. Gatorade Margarita. So where's my mixer? Where's my scoop? I'm going to scoop some ice up here into my fancy glass here, into my tulip glass. And I think I got something in there. So I'm going to rinse this out real quick and polish it. All right, so I've got my fancy glass. I've got my tulip glass here. All right. So just like our regular margarita, we go ahead and do our 1.5 ounces of tequila. So this looks tequila. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put 1.5 ounces of that in there. Then instead of triple sec, and you can always do this because it's always kind of fun, or I think it's kind of fun, putting blue curacao in things instead of triple sec to make them blue, to make them fun. So we're going to go ahead and do a 1/2 ounce here of our fake blue curacao. Once again, this is just water. I have nobody to drink the alcohol today. I thought about, as I knock over my microphone, I thought about making something for real, but I have nobody to drink it today. So I've got my blue curacao. I've got my orange liqueur. I've got my tequila. I'm going to put a little bit of my sweet and sour mix there, just like I'm going to make a regular margarita. I'm going to get a little piece of lime here and squeeze it in. A little fresh lime juice, which I'd put in my margarita anyway. And then to make it a Gatorade margarita, we're going to add some cool blue Gatorade and top it off with that. And margaritas are always best if you give them a little mix. I can throw this in here. I can give it a little shake. Let this drip. Give it just a little shake. Let that froth up a little bit. Bar sweet and sour mixes are made with a frothing agent that makes them kind of foamy. Now, have some fun here. Got a little blue sugar that I made, and it's just regular sugar with a little blue food coloring in it that I let dry out and then kind of mash back up because it gets sticky. We'll throw a little bit of salt in there with it. There we go, just like that. Nice pick here. And we'll mix that up. So I got a little sweet, I got a little salty. I'm gonna have a sour with my cocktail. Go ahead and give that a nice rim of that blue sugar, a little bit of the salt in there as well. Pour my cocktail back in. So we get this stuff out of the way. And then, of course, I need a piece of lime to garnish it with. So I have my margarita. Actually, it's look better with an orange, I think. Put a nice piece of orange on there. Get our straw. Blue Gatorade margarita for the Super Bowl. What better for the Super Bowl but something made with Gatorade? And now my wife can drink the rest of that blue Gatorade because I don't like that thing. So we're going to put this one to the side. And one more I have to do because of having too much fun with the fact that the Rams, a hometown team, is here and in the Super Bowl. So I kind of put a little twist on something and I changed this one up from a traditional recipe a little bit. What I'm going to do is take half a lemon here. I'm going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice in here. Once again, half a lemon, half a lime, about 1/2 ounce. So we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice squeezed in there like that. I should have some simple syrup here. Do a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup in there. Like that. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of blue curacao, just like that. Sweet. We're going to take this. We're going to throw some ice in it. Got my top on there. Put a nice mix. Get nice and mixed up. So in essence, we have a little orange with the blue curacao. We have a little sour, a little sweet, kind of like some lemonade. And I took this from a recipe. It was for a Tiffany mimosa. And I kind of took a little play off that. So I'm going to come back with my Martinelli's. This has no alcohol, so I'm going to waste a little bit of this because I don't want to waste real champagne. But if I topped it off with bubbles, Prosecco or champagne or cava, or what we have out here where I live, California sparkling wine. And then we're going to finish it off here with a lemon twist. Drag that down. I'm going to try that one more time. There we go. Take our nice lemon twist all the way around the rim. Spritz it over the top. Drop it in there. So we have a little yellow, we have a little blue, which are the color of the Rams. So for Sunday morning in Los Angeles, I'm calling this the Ramosa for the Rams, blue and yellow. And that is my Ramosa for Los Angeles Rams. Let's hope we win, or I can't listen to LA radio anymore. It's going to be too depressing to listen to it. So have fun at the Super Bowl, make sure everybody gets home safe, has a good time. But guys, don't forget about Monday. Okay, Monday is also very important. And just because the Super Bowl is on your calendar doesn't mean you get to blow off Monday, St. Valentine's Day. Oh, yes, a day of love, a day of amour. Love is in the air. It is that time of year again. Yes, love is in the air. And women start to get that certain look in their eyes. They feel spring and they feel love. And I don't know, it's probably still snowing out where Bonnie is. It's 85 where I am today out here in the backyard, having a good time, a little sweaty. So, women get that look and guys get that look as well, which is them doing a mathematical equation in their head. How much money do I have to spend on Valentine's Day to not get in trouble? So we all play this dance. We all go through it. Looked up a little bit about the history. I won't go too deep into it. Found 3 different Saint Valentines, all credited with Valentine's Day being named after them. All kind of had the same story. If you look at their stories, all kind of fought for love and became martyrs because of it. So that's kind of the story of Saint Valentine's, in a bit. But I thought this is even better. Sorry, I'm laughing already. But it coincides with in February. It's placed in February to coincide with a pagan celebration of Lupercalia. So this was a celebration of sorry, I'm reading over notes. It's a fertility festival dedicated to Faunos, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as Roman founders Romulus and Remus. And it occurs in the Ides of March. Ides of February, which means I got something else. Ides means middle. Ides of February means middle of the month. Most months it's the 15th because that's the middle of the month, because February only has 28 days, it would be the 14th or 15th. That's why they put it there, Ides of February. My birthday is the 16th. It's between the Ides of March and St. Patrick's Day. If you've never, it's Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. Ghost comes to Julius Caesar, tells him beware the Ides of March, and that's when they stab it and kill it. Anyway, over that. So that's why they put it there, to kind of coincide and kind of Christianize this holiday, this pagan holiday. So what the Romans would do to celebrate Lupercalia, it started with some animal sacrifice. Then they would take the pelts of the animals, go through the village and gently smack the women with them, and slap the crops with them as well, so the crops would grow. Then all the young single ladies in town would put their name into a big barrel, and all these single bachelors would come and pick a name out of the barrel. And whatever name you picked, that was the woman you got till next year when we do this all over again and we start all over, which I thought was pretty amusing and pretty entertaining. So they had a festival. You kind of picked your girl for the year. You hang out with her for a year, and we start again next year with the bloody pelts again. God, I try to find cherubs, the other thing associated with Valentine's Day. Cupid, little fat guy. I tried to find some pictures and I could not find a decent picture, because one of the hotels I worked at here that I talk about very, very much is very pink inside. Valentine's Day is a big day for them, but hanging over their dining room are tons of little golden cherubs. And they're just little fat guys in diapers with wings and little bows. And there's a good dozen of them hanging from the ceiling. Unfortunately, even on their website, there's not a good picture where you could see them. They look very cool. I know that they're just plastic spray painted with gold spray paint, but they look very cool. They look gold. It kind of gives the place a fun thing. So Cupid's the other thing you'll kind of see. I wish I had found a good pictures of those. I'll try to get one if I ever go down there, which I might on Valentine's Day, because they're going to have a lot of empty bottles and I need more bottles. All right. So Valentine's Day is also celebrated in Canada, in Mexico, in the UK, in France, and Australia. There were dozens of St. Valentines, like I said, 3 that are, kind of credited with it. There was even once a Pope Valentine, although he only served as Pope for 40 days, so very little is known about him. Okay, so Saint Valentine is the patron saint of love and marriage and couples, of course. But as it turns out, Saint Valentine is also the patron saint of several other things, as well as beekeeping, epilepsy, fainting, traveling, and of plague. And we all need him, I think, now in the age of COVID. St. Valentine, come save us from this plague. The other thing I found interesting when I was looking up things, and I got this stuff from History Channel, when I was looking up things, is that there's actually no record of a romantic celebration on Valentine's Day before 1375, and a poem written by Geoffrey Chaucer that came out. He famous for writing the Canterbury Tales, which they actually have the original copies of them down by Los Angeles, a place called the Huntington Library. I want to go back again. I've been there a very long time, but it's very cool. You can see the original manuscripts of him. So I learned a lot about him as a kid. And the thing is that he, and Canterbury Tales is a lot of this, it is very historically accurate in parts, and then he makes up a bunch of parts in the middle. So although his writing is historically accurate, he's also just making stuff up and putting it in with historical accuracy. So he very well may have invented what we consider the modern Valentine's Day in that poem, in his writings, and it really wasn't, no record of it really being celebrated before that. So, you know, it is a made-up holiday. Thank you, Geoffrey Chaucer. Now that's why we have it at Library. All right, so let's talk about Valentine's Day drinks. Biggest disappointment of trying to come up with some drinks is I could not find the little tiny crappy heart candies that say like "be mine" and "love you" and weird stuff out. I don't know if anyone else looked for them in a store where they live, but they do not exist in Central California this year. I guess blame it on COVID. I don't know. I guess when it comes down to what we really need, little crappy candy hearts that no one eats was not on the high list of priorities for them to continue making and manufacturing. So don't have those. Wish I did have those. But, you know, chocolate martini. I think chocolate martini is always a good one. Definitely a crowd pleaser, you know, when we talk about, you know, Valentine's Day drinks. But I think we could put a little spin on it, have a little fun by making a chocolate covered cherry, reminiscent of chocolate covered cherries that would have a little bit of alcohol in them, and you get that taste that you used to buy at candies. So if we go to do this, and this is something I've kind of started with messing with this idea for a martini festival in Florida, and it never worked out because I had a weird, I was going to try to make a chocolate covered cherry in front of people, but it just, I'm not a scientist and it did not work out. So I've got my martini glass, going to chill my martini glass. I'm going to go ahead and grab my mixing tin here. And we're going to use some vodka. You can find a lot of chocolate flavored vodkas. Van Gogh Dutch chocolate is a really good one. If you have that run around, I would suggest using that one. But if we just did 3/4 ounce of what would be our chocolate vodka, put it in there. Then cherry vodka. I know not just Smirnoff, Svedka, several other people make some different kinds of cherry vodka. Going to give it a little extra cherry flavor. Also going to be clear. We'll throw 3/4 of that. Other things to throw in there, some dark creme de cacao. Tastes like chocolate. That's what it is. We can throw in 1/2 ounce of that, and I've got some brown water to replicate that there. Gonna throw in a little bit here of some grenadine, a little bit of color. Not technically cherry, it's technically pomegranate, but that will work just fine. I'm actually gonna throw in a little too, if I've got some here. Just gonna throw a little cherry juice. And you know, you should have juice in your cherries, juice in your olives if you need it for things at the bar. Yeah, Kylie, go ahead.
I was wondering if there's like a list to buy some of the equipment that I see in the videos. I think the main one I see is like that cup in the middle. I forgot what it's called already. Yeah.
Mixing tin?
Yeah. Like if I could just buy the equipment myself, maybe off like a Amazon list or something, so I don't have to
they
hunt
sell
it in the
them on
store.
Amazon. Just gotta look for a mixing tin. Or the other place to go is if you can find a restaurant supply store in your town.
Okay. I was hoping there was like, well, just to make it easier, if there was like maybe like a package or something, I could like just grab it all so I don't have to one by one hunt them all down. But
It's funny. There's
fine.
actually I can't even think of their name.
Bartending
There's a
kit.
certain website and a certain company, and they sell packages and kits, but it's designed for like at home stuff. It's not the stuff people really use in bars. It's different. Something like this is just a basic mixing tin that you get any restaurant supply store. And that's what you're going to find when you come into most bars. They make these sets. The sets are made more for, I have something fancy, I invite people over to my house and it looks very cool. Where stuff you buy at the restaurant supply store is made for function. It's made for functionality, being behind a bar and actually using it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. I was hoping for something to just practice with, or like, I guess make at home drinks like I'm actually working. But
Yeah. Mixing tin. You can look it up on Amazon, or like I said, if you live in an area where there's a restaurant supply store. I don't live in the biggest town. I live in a town of 40,000 people. Half of those are college kids, but we have one. It's the only one in our whole county, but we have one. So I don't have to drive to the next town. But that's what you're looking for. They sell everything that's stocked in real bars, from this that I bought to this guy that I bought, to literally all this stuff just comes from my local restaurant supply store. Answer question? Okay, let me know if you have any more questions. I'm going to throw a little half and half in there, a little cream. Not too much, just want to make it a little bit creamy. And where was I? Okay, let me get to the best part. Lock it in, pop it in, it sticks, it's not going nowhere. We're going to give it a nice shape. Get that mixed up. Oh, I got a little spraying on me. Always fun. But I forgot something. Sorry, I got distracted, which is not too late. Got a little chocolate syrup, because I need a little chocolate syrup in my chocolate martini to give it a little extra chocolatiness. Lock it in there and get another good shape. There we go. That's the consistency on it. Make a nice mess here. I'm going to throw my water out. I'm going to shake this out. Got my chilled glass, and you got to have some fun with the chocolate. So I'm going to do a little drip here. Make just a little design. Just like that. So I've just got a cool little fun design there in the glass. Slap this in. And I really wanted to float some of those little candies on this guy, which I just couldn't find, so I don't have. And I wanted to try something else, but I tried it before. Tried it before turning on the camera today, and it didn't work out great. I'm still going to give it one more go here. So I couldn't get any of those heart candies, but I want to see if I can get this Hershey Kiss to float in a little bit of whipped cream. So once again, it did not work earlier, but I was not using cold water, so we're going to give it one more try. That Hershey's Kiss. Oh, and there we go, as it slips out of my hand anyway. Got my chocolate martini, got my Hershey's Kiss sitting on top with a little bit of whipped cream. Kiss for her. Beautiful, beautiful. Chocolate covered cherry martini. And there goes, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. My kiss is falling. It's diving. It's making a run for it. I did find a lot of Valentine's cocktails. I'm not going to try to make all of them out here. And once again, when it comes to shots, I do not make up the names. Okay. Found one called Cupid's Panties, which would be a combination, half and half, of tequila rose. And if you're not familiar with tequila rose, it is a strawberry tequila liqueur, creamy strawberry tequila liqueur. Half tequila rose, half Godiva white chocolate liqueur. That's your Cupid's Panties. I thought that might also be good with tequila rose and a little rum chata, which I have here, would also be very good. I think I'm going to get some Fireball. There will be some Fireball and rum chata this weekend in Santa Barbara. We will have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch going there as well. Let Ann in here. Awesome. This one had a fun name, but I'm not going to do it as well. Hanky Panky, half gin, half sweet vermouth, ounce and a half of each, making it like a martini, and a couple drops of Fernet Branca, which I think I brought up a couple weeks ago, and an orange garnish. Fernet is an Amaro. It's an Italian herbal liqueur. You're going to taste roots, herbs, stuff like that. What you taste in most of them too is black licorice, because it comes from an anise root. It was something readily available, so they do flavor a lot of alcohols with that. That is very, very common. This one, let me rinse off my stuff. And dang, I'm running out of pint glasses. All right, so that one's cracked. That's probably why I was getting a little splatter. We'll go to another one. And rinse that one. All right, perfect. So if we go to do this, I'm going to grab my handy dandy mixing tin, and I'm going to do a fresh strawberry. So, going to take the top off and rinse off the strawberries, please. Don't just grab them out of the bin. They're nasty, disgusting, like dirt. That's how you get salmonella poisoning, and you don't want that. It's very, very horrible. So I've got my strawberry in there like that. I'm also going to take a cucumber. I'm going to take a couple slices, just 2 nice slices of cucumber off like that. I'm going to throw those in there as well. A cucumber to the side. I'm also going to take the other half of my lemon here, do half an ounce of fresh lemon juice in there with my cucumber and my strawberry. Come on out of it. And then I'm going to grab my little bat, my muddle, and I'm going to mash this up. I'm going to mash it up good because I know that I'm going to come back and double strain this. So I'm going to take up all this mashed up material out. It's not going to find its way into my end result cocktail. So I've got my lemon juice, got my strawberry, got my cucumber in there. We're going to go ahead and throw some ice here in the mixing tin to cool it and dilute it. A little more. There we go. And then we would add 2 ounces of aged rum. Could be Jamaican, could be Puerto Rican. They put Jamaican on the cocktail recipe I was looking at. Some kind of nice aged rum that's got some good flavor. And this will represent that. We'll put our 2 ounces in there. Once again, we're going to bring it, give it a nice shake. Give it the underhanded shake, like this. Always a fun one. Pop it off there. Now, because I've got that stuff mashed in there and I've got all that large material, I'm going to go ahead and use my double strainer, use my screen here, fresh ice, and restaurant supply store, also where I got this. So we were just talking about the restaurant supply store. So, got to run strawberries, and I didn't do it, as I just said I was going to do. All right, I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to put some fresh ice in there. Keep it out. There we go. And I'm going to double strain it this time. Through the double strainer, going to catch all that nice large material, or all that whole material, and just let the liquid go out through. Give it a little shake. Put that out. There we go. And of course, to garnish it, we're going to need us a nice fresh strawberry. Once again, please make sure it's clean. Before you put it in anybody's drink, serve it to anybody. We'll stick that strawberry on the side there. A couple straws in there. And that is our blushing rum cocktail, is what they refer to. A little bit of cucumber in there. You're going to taste a little citrus with the lemon. You're going to taste that nice sweet strawberry and the good flavor of some nice aged rum in there. So I like that one as well. Thought that one was good. Hanky Panky. Not going to do that one. Love Potion. And this one, I'm not going to do this one either, but I cannot look up recipes out finding one that calls for Saint Germain. It is just the new thing. It's the new big thing. Fireball, now it's Saint Germain. So if I did it like a martini in a martini glass like this, ounce of gin, half an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of our Saint Germain, our elderflower liqueur, shake it up, strain it into a martini glass, and then topped it off with some sparkling wine, some cava, some prosecco, some champagne, something like that. Let's do this one, and we'll do one more. Okay. So I'm going to rinse out the chunky stuff out of here. Start with refreshments and 10 and cup. And this one, they called this one Love on the Rocks. Not sure if that's good for Valentine's Day or if that sounds bad for Valentine's Day. So this kind of insinuates that things aren't going well necessarily in your relationship. So if we do our Love on the Rocks, and we'll go ahead and shake this one up and straighten it out. So grab us some more ice here. There we go. And if we started with an ounce of bourbon, whiskey, use American whiskey, whatever kind of whiskey you want, into our tin. And then if we did a half ounce of creme de cassis, Cassis. Creme de cassis is made from black currants, which are very similar to black raspberries. So it kind of has that flavor to it. If you don't have creme de cassis, or Chambord will work as a substitute for creme de cassis. And I made some stuff that looks like Aperol in this one. Just got a light red color. Aperol's an aperitivo, an Italian aperitif. Used in an Aperol spritzer. Don't worry about memorizing the recipe for an Aperol spritzer. If you have the bottle, you have the recipe. It's on the back of the bottle. So don't ever stress about that one. That's not one you ever have to worry about. From there, I'm also going to throw in here some fresh squeezed lemon juice in my squeezer. Yes. There we go. And we're also going to put in a couple dashes of bitters. There we go. Get a nice little flavor. Take this up. Give it a nice little shake. Let that dilute itself a little there. Get nice and cooled out. We come back with my Collins glass. Not drop stuff. Come back with my Collins glass. It's fresh ice. And we're going to strain this in here. And once again, we're going to top this one off as well with a little bit of our sparkling wine, our Prosecco, our Cava, our California sparkling wine, our champagne. Give it a lemon twist. Nice lemon twist garnish here. All right, buddy. There we go. There we go. And we have our Love on the Rocks. Nice, delicious cocktail for Valentine's Day. All right, so I got one more for you. Getting them built up over here. Got one more for you. Have a little fun here. And if Valentine's Day goes well, and your lady has a good time, or I shouldn't say that, your significant other has a good time, and you have a fun night, and eventually it gets back to the bedroom, have a cocktail called Between the Sheets. And I really did like this one. So we're going to go ahead and grab another martini glass over here, and I'm going to get this one chilling and get it started. Grab enough ice. I do have enough ice. Get some water in here to chill our glass out. Okay, so got my mixing tin. Throw some ice in here. And we do an ounce of cognac, which is brandy, good brandy. You can do cognac, do Armagnacs, very nice brandy. We do an ounce of white rum. So just our white rum, our clear rum. That will work right there. And then triple sec would also be clear. I can use this right here. If we did a half ounce of triple sec, half ounce of orange liqueur. And then once again, we're going to do half a lemon, so half an ounce of fresh lemon juice. into my squeezer here. There we go. Oh, kick up win. I don't need to win to kick up right now. All right, pop it in, smack it in, get a nice shake, get that nice and diluted, get that nice and chilled out. I'm a water. Strain it out. A little rum, a little brandy, a little orange flavor, a little lemon flavor, a little shake, a little more will come out. And as the wind kicks up, I'm gonna try to see if I can do this. So we'll see if I can give this a flaming orange twist, which is what it called for. So twist, take the outside of the peel. We're gonna go all the way around and we're gonna try to see if I can get this thing done. And then if you have room temperature fruit and you squeeze the oils out into an open flame, should be able to ignite the flame. Let's see if I can do it here on camera. If you saw that little burst flame, boop, drop it in there. And where we'd all like to end up on Valentine's Day, between the sheets, is our last cocktail there, as I've made a nice mess outside. Does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about today, or any other questions about anything I can answer for them?
Yeah, I've got one, and that is I got surprised by an order for a virgin margarita, and I have never done one before, and there seem to be many variations of that one too, and I just wanted to know what you might do.
Sour mix. I mean, that's literally all it is.
Okay.
Throw some Sprite in there.
That's what I did. I did a little bit of club soda, which is similar, and a little bit of simple syrup was what the one liquor.com had in the recipe. But another recipe said put in orange juice, and that just sounds gross. So I didn't put that in.
I wouldn't do that either. I think Sprite is the key, except for a Virgin Bloody Mary, which you're just doing the mix. Sprite is the key, I think, doing those, or if you're doing anything that's frozen virgin drinks. And I know you live in snow country, so I know that's probably not something you guys do up in that area a lot necessarily. And even like I used to bartend in Scottsdale, Arizona. We never used our blender, ever. 120 degrees outside. It's only something people generally order at the beach or by the pool, are like the two big times that you end up making a lot of those. But I think where a lot of guys, I shouldn't say guys, where a lot of bartenders fall into having trouble with making those frozen virgins is that the mix is made to be mixed with alcohol. And the alcohol is going to thin it out a lot, give it the right consistency. If I just put the mix and ice into a blender, it's going to come out thick and chunky, and it's not going to be right. A little splash of Sprite. That's all it takes. That little splash of Sprite thins it out. It gives it a little bit of bubble, which kind of fluffs it up a little bit and makes it, a little fluffier, a little easier to drink. I don't know if you've ever seen ICEE, the ICEE brand beverages, and you pour it out and it's blue or it's red and you drink it. Those are carbonated. They're pumped with CO2. If you take a full glass of ICEE and you let it melt, it's that much liquid at the bottom because it's just bubbles that are pumped into it. Doing that with frozen virgin strawberry daiquiris or any kind of virgin frozen drink gives it that same thing. It kind of fluffs it up, makes it thick, gives it that really good consistency, and helps thin it out so it has the right consistency. I already mentioned the Madonna Inn today. I'm throwing them under the bus. Don't do what they do at the full bar at the Madonna Inn, which is to thin it out. They use apple juice. Apple juice is a natural diuretic. It makes you go number 2. They unknowingly dose small children in their pool of all places. I'm like, you guys are just not like, you guys think this stuff through? And they were like, no, that's how we do it. We're just going to keep doing it. We've done it that way since the 50s. We keep doing it that way. Like, okay. Understand, these are also people that I think this is funny because people complain about it. They have a huge parking lot. There are no lines. It is a free-for-all. And people have figured it out for 50 years. They're never going to paint lines. And people complain, why don't you paint lines? Why? Been here since 1950 and everybody's figured it out. What the hell? You can't park next to the person there. Go to the end of the line, park next to somebody. So, it's that kind of place, but it's frustrating to work in that kind of environment when you're like, we could just change this and everything's going to go smoother. Nope, we've done it this way since 1958. It's like, come on, you guys are killing me. I don't know. Sorry, I got kind of side tangent on that one too. Any other questions I can answer for anybody? Random off the side. All right, we do have one more Wednesday left in the month of February. So we're going to talk about, because I believe it will be the Wednesday before President's Day weekend. It's usually another 3-day weekend we got coming up. Let's talk a little bit about, because it's Black History Month, and haven't mentioned much about that. So we'll talk a little bit about Black History Month and an homage to the African-American bartenders that helped pave the way for so many of us as well. Otherwise, have a good week, have a fun week, enjoy the Super Bowl, be safe, have a fun Valentine's Day, be with the person or the people that you love, and stay safe. Be careful. COVID's still a thing. Be careful when you go to parties. We don't want to. We would like this thing to end someday, but be careful, have fun, use Uber, use Lyft, and hopefully I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Thank you very much for showing up.